Hey everybody, you got Specs here, and today we are going to be going over Week 5's matches for the UPDL Season 2. Um, yeah, you guys know all the drills by now, so let's just get started. So first up here we got Texas Turtwigs versus the Wuppertal Woopers. So two pretty solid players. Can't wait to see how this goes. um, yeah, I don't know what else to say. Darm, I guess I can go for lead. Yeah, so Darm looks really good here turn one. Basically, when it's leading, like, to be fair, it's like, it has to be very prediction reliant this game, but like, if you start out as a lead, it's not, like, you can just click the predicted move and it'll probably do some good, decent damage. So, Darm could be okay here, but of course you have to be wary of that Regieleki. You can get free Volt Switch momentum even against Scarf because Regieleki is just very fast. Kangaskhan also doesn't seem like a too bad of a lead if it has Earthquake and Ice Punch and like Fire Punch and stuff like that. Can deal with Pharaoh, Heatran, and Gliscor all in one. But the thing I'm noticing here, electric immunities there are no electric immunities on the Texas Turtwig side. Meganium is the only thing here that can take Regieleki's moves at all. The rest of them cannot really take it as well. So I think Wuppertal Woopers definitely has a better matchup here. Still has to be worried about Darm, especially if Texas Turtwigs gets those nice predictions. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we start with Jirachi here on the Heatran. Not a very fun lead. Probably going to see a immediate U-turn or we're going to see a Aura Sphere turn one. Not doing much damage at all. Dragon Storm firing back for quite a bit more. Looks to be a pretty standard Spit F Heatran. Sees a more chip here, and the Jirachi is going to go down though, however, so pretty favorable lead for the Wuppertal Woopers. We're going to see the Mega Kanga come in here and probably goes for the Earthquake. Does not do much to the not Whimsicott, Cottony. Fire Punch is going to come out after a Charm, which is not going to result in much sort of damage at all. Gliscor is going to come in here on another Fire Punch. Unless he gets burned, which he does not, he will get his Poison Heal activated. Ice Punch is going to come out right after, but is really doing absolutely nothing. Sloth's coming out. So yeah, at this point, definitely should be swapping here if I were Terra. To be fair, it's kind of hard to switch into Gliscor with this team, especially with the Facade. Everything's going to take significant chip, but unless you're getting crits, these Ice Punches are not going to be doing much at all from the big Kangaskhan because it is -2 attack. We are going to see it keep going for Ice Punch though, however. But again, no dice unless it gets a crit. Really not much chance of doing any sort of good amount of damage here. Yeah, okay, well, yeah, I think that this Kangaskhan should have been swapped out quite a bit ago. Yeah, I mean, this Gliscor is just gonna roost up, and then Facade, and when it has the turns, I don't know why this is, yeah, I don't know why this is happening, quite frankly. Yeah, I don't know. Togekiss, Digivolve, like, even bringing in Hard Darm, especially since you force the Gliscor to roost, and you can bring in Darm, you can get some good momentum out with U-turn and whatnot, so I think that should have been definitely the main play here. Not just completely sacking your Kangaskhan here, as it turns out Terra does decide to do. Especially with all the coverage it has, it definitely could have put in quite a bit of work here. Oh, it turns out the Darm is actually belly drop, and oh my god, wow. The Gliscor staying in there was pretty ballsy, I would say. But yeah, okay, now I see why I didn't bring out Darm, because it is a Bellydrum Darmanitan. Oh wow. Yeah, that Gliscor staying in was so nasty. I don't. No, that was. I don't know why you would stay in there. Like, what? You know what? I guess maybe Zach was thinking here, like, oh, I don't need Darm. I don't need Gliscor anymore. Maybe it is like useless compared to the rest of this. And if this is Belly Drum Darm, then my best chance here is just a Facade and make sure it can't get up that Belly Drum safely. Which, I guess that's fair. But at the same time, that was, I don't know. I guess Gliscor doesn't do much here. You know what? That's fair. But yeah, no, he's right. He's right. Although Yeah, no, he's right. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think like what Glasgow can beat that his team can't handle already, and you know what? Nothing really can. So Glasgow is an issue. It isn't needed anymore. So you know you can just use it to try to kill their Mantan. And now that you know it's belly drum, you know he's staying in. He's gonna stay in and try to just make sure he can't belly drum at all. Terra's just going for subs for some reason. Like even if you get the sub broken turn one, there's still like other places where you can set up. Like against this Whimsicott, like sure it's gonna do a lot. It's gonna take away a lot of your belly drum because it has charm, but like you still try to set up on that, for example. So like even after the first sub was broken, you could still keep this Darn. Of course, it isn't very good anymore, so I understand why Terra is basically trying to sack it. But at the same time, like it's still not you don't need to do it. And now, well, it does not have ice coverage as it turns out, and Fire Punch will not be able to kill Glasgow at all. We see the Meganium. I don't know what that double switch was for, frankly. Glasgow is not immediately threatened by Meganium at all, so that double didn't make much sense. Air Slash is going to do a good chunk to Glasgow though, and he does get a nasty flitch on the second try. So this Glasgow will, in fact, be going down. At this point, though, Regieleki is looking mad nice. A free Volt Switch momentum. Well, I'd always have free Volt Switch momentum, and Light Orb, interesting. Don't normally see that type of stuff. If I were Zach, I mean, I know Terra's full team. It doesn't have an electric immunity, so I would just run Specs and just run Volt Switch and Thunderbolt and all that stuff. That would be really nice. But, anyways, yeah, there's no point in running Life Orb because you can just click electric moves freely on Terra's team. But, anyways. We're going to see the sub Swords Dance Meganium. Unfortunately for Meganium, which would normally probably wall this Ferrothorn does indeed have Body Press, which means it is good enough to break the sub. So, very unfortunate. I'm wondering why it had Body Press. It probably had Body Press for the Kangaskhan, which, is pretty fair. Unfortunately, this Meganium is not going to be able to do much and is going to die to the Ferrothorn. Sigil is going to come out here, go for the Air Slash. Not doing much against Slowking, who is very fast special wall. It does get a flinch, but unfortunately gets a miss on the second try. It's gonna go for the teleport. At this point, yeah, it's free. It's free Thunderbolt City at this point. This game, yeah, it's definitely over. Togekiss cannot outspeed Regieleki, even if it's Scarf, and yep, this game is done. So, overall, it's a really hard matchup for Terra. Like, you have 5 electric. Like there's like okay, you have no ground type, so Regieleki already pops off to begin with, and then you also have to deal with the very annoying Ferrothorn plus Slowking plus Gliscor defensive core, which is a very very hard core to break, and there's a Heatran as well. So Heatran like beats everything on this team besides like Kanga and Darn, and then yeah, so Terra had to rely on their physical attackers, so Darn and Kangaskhan to win this match. Unfortunately, he wasn't quite able to get the belly drum. Darn working, unfortunately, and Kanga. Frankly, I don't. Terra did not handle that Kangaskhan super well. Just because, they let it. Well, like after the charm, like, Kangaskhan's not going to be able to do much, so there's no point in staying in and trying to fight a Gliscor at that point. I mean, yeah, there really isn't. And especially on Gliscor, you have a couple switching. Like, they're not going to like switching into it, but they can. And they can do more to Gliscor than Kangaskhan. Like, we saw that Sigilyph doing, like, upwards of 50% against the Gliscor. So, like, there's no point in, like, doing, in all those, like, beginning turns with Kangaskhan versus the Gliscor. But yeah, anyways, moving on. Okay, next up, we got the Melty Mudkips versus the, Denver Digletts. So, as you can see, if you haven't noticed, that Melty Mudkips did make a couple changes to their team. So they now have Ninetales, and they have Mantine and Aromatisse and all that stuff. So, interested to see how this plays out. Looking at this matchup, it seems Noivern kind of does really well here, especially if it's like some sort of like support set with U-turn, because then Blissy's not bait to it. Yeah, Noivern just does really well here. Let's see. Yeah, other than that, I don't know. I think Sage's fire types can really put a hurt on here though. Like, yes, he has Denver Digletts has, you know, the Diancie and it has the Gastrodon, but you know, like Ninetales can run Solar Beam, Charizard X can run Earthquake, you know, stuff like that. So I feel like both of these fire types can do pretty well here overall. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We're gonna see the Charizard lead off against the Noivern. Not a super favorable matchup. Oh, we're gonna see the probably Specs Draco or some sort of probably just heavy duty boost Draco Meteor. Actually, yeah, it's probably Boots if I had to guess. Dragon Claw's not gonna do much. I need to go back. So it was kind of smart not to Mega Evolve your turn 1, especially since we do see the Draco Meteor come out. But you know, as a result of that, Dragon Claw is not going to be doing much to Noivern. I wouldn't have stayed in here at all. You have a like. I don't know, this is the problem. Like, every time I see someone with a Blissey, they almost never bring it out, and I don't get it. Like, Blissey, you have a Blissey, you can now, you know, Blissey is not, like, set up bait anymore, because it has teleport, so it can get out of situations. And, like, so I don't know why Blissey didn't come out here turn 1. I don't know why Aromatisse didn't come out here turn 1. You took unnecessary chip with Charizard, so, you know, all for, like, what, 34%? You know, that's not doing much at all. Anyway, Gastrodon's going to come in here, as we're going to see a double out to Blissey, so this probably should have happened turn 1. But, you know, it happened now. So, Stealth Rock is going to come out on the Toxic. No biggie. Blissey has Natural Cure, so it doesn't really matter too much. Venomous is going to come out here as the Blissey's going to go for Seismic Toss. Fun. And it's going to stay in and go for more Seismic Toss. It's very interesting. And, very interesting that this Blissey's faster. I'm kind of... I don't know why it is faster. Yeah, wait, I have no idea why it's faster. Why is it faster? This is like this, even if this is like the slowest Mandibuzz ever, this Blissey has a lot of speed on it for some reason. I'm kind of confused as to why that is. I don't really get it. But okay, anyways, we're gonna see the default come out, get rid of the rocks that the Blissey set up. At this point, you should probably be switching out with Blissey because, you know, Toxic is still doing a good amount of good chunk to you. But okay, he finally switches out when the Blissey's at 40%. Probably not something I would have done necessarily. And Executor is going to come in on the... Okay, well, Executor is going to... Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, watch. Eggy came in on a Mandibuzz, which I don't... I don't necessarily agree with. But, no, it's fine. Well, it's not fine because you turn out and then Noivern comes out and then Sage again forgets that he has a Aromatisse and a Blissey to beat this Noivern and lets the Executor go. Like, guys, please just switch. It's just you have very, very safe checks to a lot of things here. There's no reason not to just use them at all. Like, Aromatisse was a very, very free switch hit. Even if it was like minus special defense, no HP, it would have taken a Draco Meteor, obviously. Like, Blissey probably would have been able to take 2 as well. Like, there's no point. I think, just switch. It's not hard. Anyway, so Skull's gonna come out on the Clef swap in, gonna get a burn, and it's gonna reveal that the Clef is Magic Guard, and it has Thunderbolt. Quite interesting. Usually don't see lefties plus Thunderbolt, but you know, it can happen. Thunderbolt's gonna come out here, and we're gonna see a non-drought Ninetales Flash Fire. Yeah, that makes... I think this was a mistake on the Melting Mudkips part. I think he probably did actually want Drought, but then he just forgot. Happens to the best of us. Anyway, Scorching Sand's gonna come out, get a nice burn on the Diancie, which helps quite a bit. We're gonna see a Fire Blast come out for unknown reasons. Stealth Rock is going to be set up here. Ninetales should not be here trying to fight a Diancie, even with Energy Ball. And that is the reason why Diamond Storm is going to knock out the Ninetales. Probably, that crit definitely didn't matter because of Diamond Storm, it was burned. Diancie was burned, but... So he would have got more chip. Anyway, Roost on the Diamond Storm. It's not doing much at all. Clef is going to come back in. Fortunately, Mantine is too passive to do anything to Clefable, and frankly, most things that are passive can't do much to Clefable regardless because Magic Guard is very stupid. Anyway, Clef's just going to keep going for Thunderbolt here. Scissor's going to come out on the Fairy type, and this is Danger Zone. You probably need to go immediately to Mantine and hope to God you have Roost. You have Haze. If you have Haze, you're good. If you don't have Haze, okay, I don't see a Haze. Mantine is just trying to go for a Scald Burn, and that is not going to do much for it, and I think this game is over. Yeah, Blissey is definitely at way too low health. It's faster than the Scizor. I don't. And it has Healing Wish. Okay, so Healing Wish to the Charizard. Unfortunately, I doubt the Charizard is going to live a +4 Bullet Punch, and I am correct. And the game is over. Tag, not going to do anything for you. You already lost the game. No need to extend the game any longer. Yeah, there's some questionable plays here on Sage's side. There's a lot of like free opportunities to switch in, which he didn't take advantage of. Like the Noivern like got way more progress than it should have, just because Blissey or Aromatisse never came in on it at all. If you're gonna fight a Scizor, by the way, just like you need to worry about if either like keep rocks off the field so Charizard can beat it, or make sure Mantine has Haze. Yeah, Mantine does get Haze, and it would beat the Scizor pretty handily actually. Just because, you can fish for Scald Burns, and then you can Haze. So, Scizor's never going to get more than a +2 knockoff on you. And if you're like max HP, max defense Mantine, you're going to be taking those knockoffs pretty decently, unless it's like max attack Scizor. So, yeah. Ninetales fighting Diancie also made little sense as well. It's not going to do much damage at all. Just because, well, yeah, it's a Diancie. It's rock type. Even with your grass and ground moves, Ninetales is still pretty weak without a Nasty Plot boost. So, yeah. Anything else? No, that's about it. I guess turn 1, I already covered turn 1, so that doesn't matter. Let's move on. Okay. We got... I'm moving fast today, huh? So it's only been like 17 minutes? Okay, anyway. Moving on. We got the Virbank Venomous against the Zigzag Goons. So, we got a little double defensive ghost action over here, which is not gonna like this Greninja if it has Dark Pulse, or this Mawile if it has knockoff. So we're gonna see what happens. So we got Soup against Bananas. I need to remember to turn off nicknames. They're nice. I haven't commented on them yet, but I do like the nicknames, but they're distracting me when I'm doing this analysis stuff. So yeah. Anyways, we're gonna see the Infernape View turn out. That's not necessarily risky, but I would have hard swapped turn 1 just in the very off chance that the Lando Scarf. Just like that was a nitpick, but actually it wasn't that big of a nitpick. If it was Scarf Lando, you lost your Infernape turn 1. So I'm just saying. Unless it was like Sash Infernape. Anyways. Lando's gonna get up rocks. Lefties Lando though. We're gonna see another U-turn again. Again, you guys need to scout for Scarf stuff, man. Whatever. Anyways, Rotom's gonna go for the Hydro Pump. It's gonna do a decent amount to Rillaboom. Probably gonna see either U-turn or a Grassy Glide here, or if we're being fun in a knockoff, you're just gonna see U-turn. Very fun, very nice. Okane's gonna come in here. See Toxic on the Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, not exactly sure why the Dusclops went for Wisp there. Volcanion is a fire type, and I don't think I would have expected a switch coming out from a Wiggly's side. Volcanion does, especially with the Toxic, is going to be Dusclops, so yeah, that was a little weird. Anyway, we're going to see a Steam Eruption come out, do a very decent chunk to this thing, and we're going to see Power Up Punch on the Dusclops. Definitely not a very standard set, and it's probably, after the Shadow Sneak, going to get taken out by the second Steam Eruption, which it does. Interesting. We're going to see the Rotomosh come back in here, probably go for either Volt Switch or a Hydro Pump protecting the Lando. We see a Pain Split, option 3, okay. And that's a good coverage option, yeah. And we're going to probably see a Hydro Pump come back here. Nope. We see another U-turn, probably goes into a Volt Canyon, okay, sure. Actually, yeah, that does work. Close Combat is going to do a good chunk. Volcanion, it goes for Toxic, probably expecting a switch out due to Steam Eruption. Can't take the second so Close Combat, so Lando is going to come in here on the Flare Blitz, which is doing a decent amount. Probably going to see a U-turn here. Yep. Rotomosh comes back in on perhaps another U-turn. Now it goes for the knockoff, very fair. Leftovers is going to be removed from Rotom. We're going to see a U-turn again. This Rotom is taking these hits not well at all. This is like max special attack, max speed Rotom or something. It's kind of weird. Anyways, Defog gonna come out, get rid of the rocks, get rid of the grassy terrain. U-turn is gonna come out on Rillaboom after the Kartana switches in. Greninja is gonna come out here, and unfortunately, this Kartana either the Kartana was Scarf. Either both Greninja and Kartana was Scarf, or this Kartana was not Scarf, and the Greninja just went for Dark Pulse. If I were Wiggly, I don't know, probably should scout for this Scarf card, to be fair. Although now I'm thinking about it, I don't think Ampharos really switches up his movesets too often, so I think he was running like Choice Band. But, you know, like, it doesn't hurt to scout at this point. Although, to be fair, you don't have a very... Actually, no, you have Rotom. Rotom's a pretty solid switch into Kartana, so... Or even Landorus as well. Although it's like at 60%, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I don't know. If you didn't expect it to be Scarf, well, I guess a safer play would be not to go Greninja then, right? Wait, let me see. Yeah, so the Rillaboom U turned out. Yeah, there's no reason not to go like Rotom Heat here, you know? Like Overheat would have killed the Kartana very easily. Volt Switch would have done a lot either too. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. I just wouldn't have risked this necessarily because it could have been Scarf Kartana and then but if this is Scarf Greninja against Scarf card, you know, obviously Dark Pulse is gonna kill. Yeah, okay, fair. Anyway, Dark Pulse comes out. I don't know what happened. I don't know exactly what everything is. Pikachu is gonna come out here. I don't know why. Because it's Sash. Unfortunately, Greninja gets a very nasty flinch. You don't really expect Pikachu to be anything besides Light Ball, but that would have been very surprising. I think maybe like Pikachu could have gone for a Nuzzle there and then paralyzed Greninja, which would have been really nice. But unfortunately, the flinch is going to stop it from doing that, and the Pikachu is going to be able to get nothing out as a result. Rotom Heat's going to come in here against the Corsola, which doubles out into Rotom Wash. We're going to see a switch as the Volt Switch comes out. Infernape is almost dead. Greninja is going to come out here, go for the Water Shuriken. Huh. Why do I think this Greninja specs now. I think it's specs, and I don't think I think it was specs, and they just changed the battle. It's like the Battle Bond spec set, and they changed the Battle Bond to Tauren. Because you're not allowed to have Tauren, or you're not allowed to have Protean or Battle Bond and Greninja in that league. So, Anyway, Nightshade gonna come out, do a nice 33% to the Rotom. Toxic's gonna miss. Nightshade's gonna come out again. Toxic's gonna come out again. Nightshade's gonna come out again. Leave the Rotom at like 1 HP. I wonder if this is actually like 301 HP for me. Anyway, Vulture's gonna come out. That is gonna come in. Probably gonna go for a knockoff after this Nightshade. And with the health the Rotom's at, it is not going to be able to take 2 knockoffs. Anyway, knockoff's going to Curse Body, but, you know, this Corsola... Oh, wait, no. He got all his health back after the train stop. Nice. But U-turn, you know, this thing's lost its Eviolite. A lot of things can beat it now. Ice Beam comes out. Nice. Now, I mean, that's good tech against Lando, but unfortunately, no dice. Steam Eruption's going to miss on the Rotom, which helps a little bit. Probably see another Volt Switch. Now we're going to see a Hydro Pump. Very aggressive play there. But yeah, Glide is going to take out everything at this point. So, I think this game is over. Yeah, it's definitely Banded Rillaboom. Yeah, this thing's going to die. Yep. Yeah. No. That was a game. I don't know if there was that much Ampharos could have done here. Double defensive ghosts. You know, both of these ghost types, they're good, I guess, but like they're not amazing. You know, like they're not good defensively. Just because if you're a defensive wall, you can't really be weak to knockoff, especially since they both rely on Eviolite, which matters a lot more to keeping their item than as opposed to like someone carrying lefties. Yeah. That's just a comment more on why I don't really like those ghost types, not necessarily towards this match. Yeah, I don't. There really wasn't a lot the Ampharos could have done here. I'm thinking like maybe like a Swords Dance Infernape with Mach Punch could have done a lot better though. Actually, yeah, that would have done a lot better. I don't know what exactly type of Infernape that was, but that probably would have put in a little bit more work than the Infernape that we saw here. Although this one, the Inferno didn't do bad, I would say. I think it was just, you know, it was just, yeah, I don't know. This Rotom, like, took nothing well at all. I don't know. Maybe it was like Spadef or something, but like, I can't imagine it being max HP, max defense, or anything like that. Kartana potentially could have won here. Maybe. It would have been really hard. I think Swords Dance probably would have been better overall. But then you're not going to be outsped by Greninja. You're going to have to be outsped by any sort of Scarf Mons here. Yeah, I don't know. Hard matchup. Very hard matchup. I think this outcome was expected. Not the 6-0, but like just like the loss was kind of expected, unfortunately. Anyways, moving on. We got the Italian Torterras versus the Alpine Armaldos. Okay. Yeah, let's just start. Ben is just bringing like the same team every single time, and then Eve bringing her Sun stuff. Anyways, we're gonna see a Stun Spore on the Dragon Ball from the Whimsicott turn 1. Flamethrower is gonna come out, not gonna quite kill. This is probably Specs Dragon Ball if I had to guess. Against a very defensive Whimsicott, we're gonna see a U-turn come out with the switch to Torkoal, doing Specs. Flamethrower still doing a decent chunk. Torkoal is gonna go for the rocks. Probably gonna swap out into Mew. Blastoise is going to go for the Ice Beam. It doesn't do too much there. Mew is going to go for the Volt Switch. Looks like Specs Volt Switch, so that's going to be a pretty interesting Mew set there. And then Blastoise is going to go for the Dark Pulse on the coming in Whimsicott slot. Mew is going to go for another Volt Switch, most likely. Dark Pulse switches in to tank it. Yeah. Mew set is pretty interesting, though. And it does do decent amount, especially if it has like Flamethrower and then just like regular Psychic. Volt Switch gives you a lot of momentum against Ben's team, especially since he doesn't have a ground type, and his only resist is a relatively frail Dragapult. So, Zerud's gonna come in here, gonna go for probably Darkest Lariat. Does not much to the Klefki as per expected. Probably gonna see a swap into Torkoal here, as Klefki goes for Thunder Wave, paralyzes that. Maybe gonna see either Lava Plume or maybe some Toxic on a predicted switch. Or see nothing because the Torkoal gets paralyzed. Venusaur is going to come in here. This is Mega Venusaur, so knockoff is not going to do much. Venusaur is probably going to Mega Evolve and go for something. Going to go for the Earth Power and is going to do quite a bit to Bisharp. Ironhead is going to come out here. It is Life Orb. Unfortunately, gets a flinch and another Ironhead comes out. Bisharp is going to die, but it gets another flinch. Oh my god. Okay, let me comment on this first. So, while very unfortunate, and I very much assume he was kind of triggered after the first Ironhead flinch. At this point, you could have just gone Torkoal. I think. Yeah, Torkoal's fine. Yeah, if you could have gone Torkoal here, because like at this point, Torkoal probably only does very well against the Bisharp at this point. Again, probably loses to Pex, loses to Blastoise. Not just well against Klefki, I guess. But you have two Dark types, so I guess Klefki isn't too big of an issue. And then probably Venusaur walls it. Well, I guess you could have kept. Okay, but the point is, first off, Ironhead's not even gonna do much against the Torkoal, anyways. So, like at this point, you didn't have to risk. Like you should have swapped the Torkoal at this point, because if you got flinched again, you wouldn't be able to Synthesis. And I'm assuming it has Synthesis. But yeah, you wouldn't be able to Synthesis and keep yourself at full. Keep yourself at a good amount of health. And like Torkoal doesn't do much here anyways. And if the Bisharp does go for the Ironhead and doesn't predict, Ironhead's gonna do like what, 20? And so and then Bisharp are gonna die. So Torkoal's still gonna be at 50%. It's still a respectable amount of health. To be fair, I guess you could be worried about something like Blastoise coming in afterwards and being kind of a nuisance with water balls and whatnot. Yeah, I know. To be fair, it's a 30% chance, so you shouldn't be. You're not necessarily expect it to happen twice. So you know what? Ignore everything I said. You just got hacked. Very unfortunate. Those two flinches definitely did matter though. That Venusaur is gonna beat that Bisharp 1v1. Anyway, Alpine is gonna come out on the Torkoal swap. Probably gonna see another swap back into Blastoise as the Torkoal goes for nothing again because it gets paralyzed again and it's gonna die to Waterfalls. Okay. Not a very fun situation for Eve here. We're gonna see a Dragapult to come in back in. Volt Switch comes out. Probably goes back to goes back to Venusaur here. I don't know if this Venusaur was faster than Dragon Ball, so that was kind of an interesting play. But, you know, it does work out. Venusaur does go for synthesis there. Actually, you know, if this is Specs Dragapult, that probably could have killed Venusaur, even if it was slower. Let me switch. I have the calc ready this time. Let's see. This is just for my own edification. So, against this Venusaur, Dragometer definitely had a range to kill. I think it was worthwhile going for it, for sure. Just because, you know, you have that good chance. And, most likely, this thing was modest. Oh, and then at 100%, yeah. Yeah, Ben should have probably gone for Dragometer that turn. The worst thing that could have happened is, well, you got paralyzed. But, you know, to be fair, that it's kind of deserved at that point because, you know, you actually quite significantly. Yeah. Of course, you could have had more SpDef investment. But let me see. Like, let's say it's max. If it was max, then yeah, Dragometer wouldn't have much. But if it was max Venusaur, then most likely... Where's -2? There we go. Well, I guess if it was okay. Let's no, okay. So if it was timid Dragapult with Specs Draco, you should have just gone. Specs Shadow Ball would have killed because, you know, you're faster than Venusaur still. Of course, that's assuming the Venusaur doesn't have any speed. And then if it's modest Dragapult, then you still would have killed with Draco Meteor after the Venusaur goes for the synthesis. So yeah, if it was timid, you probably were faster and just killed the Venusaur with Shadow Ball. If you were modest, you could have just gone for Draco Meteor on the predicted synthesis from the Venusaur. Yeah. Yeah, should have definitely capitalized on that. Anyways, switch back to this. Okay. Yeah, synthesis on this. Urshifu was really weird switching too, because, like, you know, to be fair, at this point, Ben actually doesn't have a lot of switch-ins to Venusaur. Like, Hex probably loses to this, because, you know, it can't Toxic, can't knock off. Best thing it can do is Scald Burn it. Klefki, you know, there's Earth Power. It's an Earth Power Venusaur, you know, it doesn't want to fight it. And then, most likely, this thing has Giga Drain or something, so, you know, neither Water type wants to fight it. So, yeah, Venusaur actually has an amazing matchup here from here on out, especially since Bishop's dead. But the Dracopult's still an issue. Anyway, we're gonna see U-turn on the Murkrow, Cluffy, blah blah blah. I don't know. Murkrow's gonna go for the taunt, and Klefki is unable to go for spikes. Venusaur is gonna come back in here on. We're gonna see a foul play. Probably gonna see. Oh yeah, Klefki's taunted, so he can't go for Thunder Wave. Boss is gonna come out here on the synthesis. No, he's gonna go for Earth Power, and he's gonna knock out the Klefki. Dragapult's gonna come in here. Okay, I kind of wanted to see if the Venusaur would stay in, just because I wanted to see what would happen, which one was faster. Anyways, Draco Meteor is going to come out, is going to completely destroy the Venusaur. Okay, so Venusaur was faster. Okay, so it was modest. It's modest Specs Dragapult, or it's a faster Venusaur. Either way, yeah, Ben should have gone for Draco Meteor on that turn before. Yeah. Anyways, Earth Power is going to knock it out after a unfortunate Draco miss. To be fair, it was -2 special attack, so probably wouldn't have done too much. Thunder Wave is going to come out from the Klefki. Venusaur immediately gets paralyzed. Eve is not having a lot of fun with paralysis, huh? Anyway, Urshifu is going to go for the Earth Power. U-turn is going to come out. Yeah, at this point, I think Venusaur just wins. You know, oh, it has Leech Seed too. Yeah, no, this game's over. Leech Seed, Earth Power, if it has Giga Drain last, like, this is absolutely... There's nothing Ben can do. Unless he has Zen Headbutt on this Urshifu, and flinches again, which, you know, have Para Flinch this time, it's gonna work. Anyway, Ben is just trying to go for spikes. Really not much... Yeah, I mean, probably should be going for foul play. This is a nitpick, though, because, like, at this point, I think Venusaur does just kind of win. But yeah, the spikes could be useful for the endgame. Anyway, Surging Strikes, yeah, it's not doing... It's doing a decent amount for a resisted move, because, you know, Urshifu Strike is broken. But yeah, you know, this Venusaur is going to tank. Yeah. Leech Seed comes out. You know, Venusaur now even if the Venusaur gets paralyzed, you know, it's still gonna get some health with Leech Seed too. Yeah, and he's going for Synthesis, keeping himself at full. Alright, skipped a couple turns there. See an Earth Power. So maybe this thing didn't have. I don't know why it wouldn't bring Giga Drain though. That doesn't make a lot of sense. But anyways, Scald's gonna come down. Yeah, this game's over. This game's over. Yeah. We're gonna see the forfeit from Ben's side. I think Ben was kind of in a rush in this game for like he had something to do afterwards, so that's why he went for the forfeit there. That's fair, I guess. And plus, Pex was not going to be beating this thing anyways. So yeah, we're going to see the conclusion of that game, and where my mouse stopped working. Very fun. Did it actually stop working? It actually stopped working. Okay, hold on a second. I'm just gonna get my charger real fast. It's just take me. Okay. Anyways, so also this. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Venusaur had a fantastic matchup here overall. Like you saw how little was taken from Visharp. Like Visharp and Dragon Ball were the only main issues for Venusaur here, and then the rest of the mons just absolutely got folded by Venu. So yeah. Venusaur, in conclusion, Venusaur, absolutely a terrifying mon. Yeah. Anyway, next up we got Arum versus, well, yeah, that is Arum, but the Toledo Treeckos versus the Jolteons, aka Mooney. Okay, so right off the bat here, this is probably Lightning Rod Marowak, so the electric types aren't as big of an issue. You still have Tangrowth as well if it's Assault Vest too, that can help. The main thing I see here, Gardevoir, absolutely just tears into this team. Maybe Articuno can not get too KO'd by it, but the rest of the mons here just absolutely get folded. So Lazo looks really good here as well. Yeah, sounds about right. Kingdra looks pretty decent here too. Yeah, I think Moon has a very good matchup here. As for Arums and Lycanroc looks really good here. I won't deny that. But that's about it. Otherwise, Arum is definitely going to be on the back foot here for most of this match. So we're going to see what happens. Tangrowth comes out against the Drill. Stuffrock comes out. Again, this is that. Okay, it's leftovers this time. Okay, I thought it was going to be the same Sash Drill as it always is. X is going to come out and do a decent chunk. The Focus is going to take out the X Drill. Okay, so early start. So Lazo is going to come in here. Probably going to go for Toxic or Substitute here. Let's go for the sub. This is neutralizing Gas Wheezing, so Corrosion won't work here. But Flamethrower is going to do quite a bit. We're going to see a burn here as well, which also kind of mattered. Just because the reason why it mattered is just like, so, you know, Flamethrower to 50, right? So potentially Weezing could have been able to live the next one if the Flamethrower got a lower roll here. But you know, the burn made it so that it was going to be at lower health. The Lycanroc's going to come in here on another Flamethrower. I'm going to see you do it 30%. Unfortunately, another burn, 2 for 2 so far on this Salazzle is going to come out on the Lycanroc. This burn mattered significantly. Yeah, that was really big. Just because, see, okay, now what the Salazzle's gonna do, it can protect stall on the Lycanroc now. If it didn't get burned, Salazzle will have to take a turn to Toxic it in order to try to talk to stall. But at that point, you know, you lose a sub. So after protect, you have to switch up. Or okay, I should probably explain that better. So basically, let's pretend the Lycanroc didn't get burned. Okay, so the next action for Salazzle, first it would protect on Lycanroc doing whatever. Then it would Toxic on Lycanroc doing whatever. And Lycanroc would break the sub with Celerock or anything like that. Then after that, Salazzle can go for Protect. But then after that, Salazzle has to be afraid of the Celerock and whatnot. So it has to switch out after that. So this burn matters a lot because now Salazzle doesn't have to waste that turn going for Toxic. It can just go for Protect and Sub, Protect and Sub. and then just be able to stall out this Lycanroc now. So that burn matters so much, as you can see right now. Our Cellrock comes out. We're gonna see a Cellrock come out. We're gonna see a sub. We're gonna see Protect. Yeah, okay. Marowak's gonna come in here on the failed Protect. Oh, wait. See a sub. Yep. You guys see Marowak come in here on the Flamethrower. This Flamethrower was a little weird. I'm gonna be quite honest. You should have just protected and sub-stalled the Lycanroc out until it died. Or if you wanted to wait until it was out of range, in range for Flamethrower, you can go for that as well. But I wouldn't have recommended that necessarily. So yeah, that was a little bit weird Flamethrower on that turn. It did work out for Salazzle though, so can't complain necessarily. And now we're gonna see how good Salazzle is here. A thing to note. Boomerang from Marowak here would have absolutely demolished this Salazzle. Yeah. But, yeah, at this point, you know, it's slower, it's toxic, this Salazzle can protect stall it all the way until it dies, so. Weezing's gonna come out here on either a sub, sub, and we're gonna see probably a Flamethrower. Actually, I would probably protect here for more Black Sludge recovery, but you know, yeah, good. Plate Split, I don't think Plate Split goes through sub, so yeah. Yeah, Flamethrower does kill. You don't get to find out. I'm pretty sure I'm right though. Lycanroc's to come in here, yeah, but you know, also gonna go protect and sub, protect, sub. Yeah. Anyway, Scarm's gonna come in here. Subs do came out on the predicted Accelerock from the Lycanroc, no dice. Protect's gonna come out again just so I can get more Black Sludge. Oh my god, this is so bad. Flamethrower is going to come out, isn't going to kill, but unfortunately, another bird comes out. To be fair, the Skarmory was probably not going to break the Salazzle sub with Iron Head anyways, but oh my god, that is 3 for 3. I think that's like 1 in 1,000. Goddamn. Like, of course you can't, okay, well, I guess it's technically 3 for 4 because you went for Flamethrower on the Marowak, but Marowak can't get burned, so that doesn't count. Flamethrower is going to come out, doesn't do a lot, but well, so, yeah, okay, now the game's over. Articuno tries to go for a Toxic on a substituted Pokemon, which Ice Beam would have broken this up too. That was an error. Okay, hold on. This is an error on both parties. First off, Salazzle should have just gone for Toxic. If it went for Toxic, same shit. It would have just protect and sub-stalled the Articuno. But instead of going for Flamethrower, which doesn't make a lot of sense here. And then Articuno could have broken the sub here with Ice Beam, so yeah, I don't. And then after that, Salazzle can't go for Toxic. As for, well, yeah. Actually, no, Salazzle can just go for Toxic and sub. Yeah, no, I don't know what I'm saying. Ice Beam wouldn't have broken a full health sub anyways, you know. Just ignore my dumbness. Anyways, we're gonna see more Protect stalling, blah blah blah. Kills that with Flamethrower, goes for Toxic there. Looks like unfortunately Tango does not have Earthquake. Yeah, this game's a little bit over. Just a little bit though. Just a tiny bit. And the last 2 months are gonna just die to rocks, so we're gonna see a 5-0 for Mooney. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Salazzle did very well here. Unfortunately, it's not going to get Kill Leader this week. I think that was the Venusaur because that thing got 5 kills. But the reason why is because, so basically how draft leagues work, when counting kills, you have to, like, you know, kill them on directly in order for it to count as yours. So since the last 2 months died to rocks, Salazzle only gets a 4-0 instead of a 6-0. But Salazzle would have 6-0, 100%, if rocks weren't on the field. So yeah, I guess that showcases the power of Toxic Corrosion. Anyways, we got one more game here. We got the Driftveil Delibirds versus the Narukami Ninetales. We got a little bit of full rain versus like semi-hail, so kind of interesting. With also semi-hail with Sticky Webs. So yeah, let's see what happens. Okay, we're gonna see Barrascuda lead against the Cradily. And we're gonna see close combat immediately, and Cradily immediately dies. Okay, well, so I wouldn't have necessarily gone for that myself if I was the Barrascuda. Because I would assume this Cradily is somewhat defensive, but it turns out this thing is not defensive at all. It is actually Meteor Beam Power Herb that was meant to completely specifically counterpick Pelipper. Which, while I do like counter leads like that, you have to kind of make sure that you have to, people don't have to lead their rain setter every single time, and Zadash perfectly showed why you don't do that. So yeah, Close Combat is going to knock out the Cradle turn 1, which is a big swing. We're going to see a Heliolisk swap in as the Galvantry goes for Webs. Probably going to see Hyper Voice as a Volt Switch. We're going to go for Energy Ball. Probably going to see a Volt Switch or Hyper Voice here. Hyper Voice comes out again. Does a decent amount of Chestnut. Probably going to see a Volt Switch. Yep. Standard Zapdos is coming in here on the Drain Punch. Obviously not going to be doing Garbage. Yeah, Meteor is going to come in here on the Hurricane. Does quite a bit of damage. We're going to see Swap here. Very interesting. You normally... I guess maybe Zadash is worried about his Thunder accuracy now. So he goes for the swap into Pelipper as the Ninetales comes out and changes the weather back to Hail. Beartick is going to come out here. It looks like to be heavy duty boots. Obviously not going to take much from Freeze Dry. The Swords Dance from Beartick as the Ninetales goes for the Aurora Veil. See another Swords Dance as Moonblast comes out. Does a decent chunk. Nice. And we're going to see a Superpower. Is not going to quite knock out the Ninetales, unfortunately, and the Beartick is going to die. But this Ninetales is now super low. If Zadash just gets up rocks, this Ninetales is dead. Assuming it's not boots. Anyway, Poison Jab's gonna come out, not gonna do much to that thing. Freeze Drive's gonna come out from this thing, not gonna do much to Heliolisk. Probably just gonna go for Thunderbolts or just Volt Switch. Goes for Glare, option 3. And get that thing paralyzed and then kills the Chestnut. Gets a little higher of a roll than it did the first time, but whatever. It's whatever. Blizzard's gonna come out here. Interesting Ninetales. I would not normally expect Freeze Drive, Moonblast, and Blizzard, all three, to be on the same set. Usually Ninetales uses a lot more utility moves, like Encore, Hypnosis, Safeguard, all those things. Yeah, usually if I use the Ninetales, I would normally only have Freeze Drive, unless I see the Ninetales has a really good offensive matchup, then I would start considering Nasty Plot and Moonblast and Blizzard and all that stuff. But yeah, I normally you wouldn't see Aurora Veil 3 attacks. But you know what? To each their own. We're gonna see Zapdos coming here, and it turns out to be Scarf Zapdos as it outspeeds the Ninetales, and unless that Ninetales is slow. And Pelipper is gonna come in here and make sure that Rain stays up for the rest of the game. Gavansh is gonna come in here and goes for Energy Ball. Nice prediction on the Swampert. Gets to kill that thing, but unfortunately, I think Barraskewda or Zapdos is a very good shot at winning here. Goes for the Hurricane here. Interesting. I don't know why you would go for Hurricane there, because Thunder probably kills Galvantry in the turn 1. And then also it makes sure that this Minior can't Shell Smash sweep on you. Because remember, that Hurricane did around 30% to the Minior. Minior still had 67. So if the Minior had Shell Smash, they could have taken the Hurricane, hopefully not get confused, get Shell Smash, and then actually would have won the game from here. Because Barraskewda, unfortunately, probably isn't faster than a +2 Minior. A +2, the +2, the not meteorized Minior. I don't know what that... Shields down. The shields down one. The shields down form of Minior. Yeah, +2 shields down Minior. Definitely outspeed, -1 Barraskewda, even in rain. And then the other two mons died to the rock move. So actually, yeah, this Minior could come out and just sweep right now. We're gonna see a Hurricane come out again. And it just goes for... unfortunately, it was not Shell Smash, it looks like. Arctovich is going to come in here, and Hurricane's going to come out. Not going to quite kill, but at this point, the game is a bit too late. Barraskewda is going to be faster than this thing, and is going to go for literally anything besides a water move to kill it. Yep, close combat. It is Tropical Berry. It's a bit too late for that, unfortunately, and we're going to see Zadash take home a 2-0 victory. So yeah, I think very important turn. The very ballsy close combat on the Cradley turn 1 definitely saved him. Because if that was a defensive Cradley, that would have sucked because you would have not killed, and then it would have gone, and then you would have died. You all lost Barraskewda there turn 1. Yeah. Pop Swampula did make some good plays though. The Energy Ball on the Swampert switching was a very nice play. Helped try to keep them in the game, but unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough. Yeah. So that is the power of Full Rain. It can just kind of overwhelm you. You just have to kind of prepare for that though. And yeah, looks like we're gonna end just under 50 minutes. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and I will see you guys for week 6.